What's going on, everyone? How are we doing today? Let's make sure this is all working. Great, it is. Sunshine Dragon, hello. Alicia, hello. Coffee Buzz, Raindrops. Welcome to the stream today. Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for hitting the like button on the way in. Hello to Est the Best from Germany. Hello again. Thanks for being here. Okay, so this is going to be a much shorter stream than normal. And I know I've said that in the past on some of these streams, and we've gone for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. This is going to be minimum an hour long. So it's 3:30 East Coast time. Not sure what time it is for everyone else out there. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We're going to quickly cover some of the Harmony Montgomery case. This is a tough one. It's a tough one because I have a lot of thoughts about the case that maybe they might be a little bit harsh towards the family, and it's hard for me to maybe speak those thoughts because I just don't know how this case got to this point, and I don't understand how certain families, work. So it could just be one of those things where everyone else was left in the dark, but I just cannot believe how this case has gotten to this point. If you are unfamiliar with the Harmony Montgomery case, I will be linking, and I have already linked the first live stream that I did down below. I also linked this article, this Fox 35 Orlando article, that is a pretty detailed timeline from a couple of days ago. So they may have not gotten some of the more recent stuff that has come out in the last couple of days. But I've linked both the timeline, my first live stream where I kind of cover a little bit more, especially with some of these locations that we're going to talk about or that, are involved in the case. We're only going to talk about kind of the house today. But yeah, let me wait a couple minutes as people are joining in. Wow, everyone's saying where they're coming from. Kalamazoo. Hello, Kalamazoo. Good to see you, Soma, Jasmine, or Jans, Sammy. Hi, Vicky, how's it going? Lone Seagull. Pamela, good to see you in here, Pamela. Ray, Bear God 40 ounce. Beer God, yeah. Good afternoon. Denmark, wow. Aloha. Wow. People from everywhere. Hey, Joyce, how's it going? Holland. Man, everyone's tuning in from everywhere. Hello, Belinda, Mrs. MM. Cha-Cha, Jess, Diane, Miss Wee Lassie, good evening. Kathy, Teresa, Panda Bee, Charzy Z, Melissa, Jennifer, perfect timing, just finished dinner, great. Shannon, good to see you all. Okay, let's get into it. So, watching from Oklahoma, cool. Very awesome. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna just kind of like breeze through some of this. I wanted to touch on this just very quickly because I think a lot about this case is about to just happen all at once. You've got Brian Enton, which if you guys are familiar with Brian, Brian is the reporter based out of Miami, Florida here, who did a wonderful job covering the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie case back in the kind of late summer, early fall. He's obviously done many more things besides just the Gabby Petito case. He is out in Manchester, New Hampshire. I saw that he tweeted last night, or maybe 2 nights ago. Yeah, last night, 18 hours ago, that he was heading to Manchester. So he tweeted, taking off from Manchester, New Hampshire to look into the disappearance of 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery. Tomorrow, police are expected to continue searching the yard and home where she last lived. So that home specifically, I believe, is the home that she lived in October of 2019, where she was last known to be or seen alive. And that is this blue house here on Guilford Street in Manchester. This is an important location. I feel like this is a more important location than we initially thought, or maybe that I initially thought. This was where Adam Montgomery was last, where he was last to have lived, apparently, his last known address as well, or at least his last known address when Harmony also lived with him. So if, like I said, if you're unfamiliar with the story, check out the link down below after this. Allie, this is the exact question I have. How can this beautiful little soul have been missing for 2 years? Long story short, Harmony Montgomery, who is supposed to be 7 years old now, was last seen 2 years ago at the age of 5 in Manchester, New Hampshire. Like I said, this whole timeline's linked down below, but we'll kind of briefly go through it. But basically, this case kind of blew open at the end of 2021 in late December when the mom of Harmony Montgomery, who is no longer with Adam Montgomery, started to speak out more. And then the story kind of got some more traction. And obviously, when you hear about a story about someone missing for 2 years and not, having a mother say that she hasn't seen her daughter in 2 years, that raised a lot of eyebrows in just the community in general. Everybody was just like, wait, what? What is this story? And I have a lot to say about like the mom not knowing this whole time and not seeing her daughter this whole time. I get that families can be split apart in different ways, but it is just very weird how this all of a sudden is kind of just now after 2 years. Like what happened that, that it's just now gotten to this point. I also wanted to mention, I've linked down below prematurely a video for the YouTube channel, the channel It Could Mel, which a lot of you maybe follow It Could Mel or Mel as well. He has a video coming out, I think later tonight, that is I think it's kind of an everything you need to know about the Harmony Montgomery case. I assume that will be a good video. He does a lot of good work. So I've prematurely linked that video as well, just knowing that we're not going to get into the nitty gritty today. I just wanted this to be kind of a bit of a highlight into what's going on right now. But yeah, so she's been missing for a couple years. The dad is very, very suspicious. The house that they're at right now, that they're searching, apparently is where he last lived. Let's listen in on this little article or this video here, and then we'll keep on rolling.
Harmony Montgomery's family member tells News 9 he is heartbroken over her disappearance, and the family did try to help.
So I think this is going to be an article or a video with the uncle, which is Adam's brother, so the uncle to Harmony.
For the second straight day, investigators working at a home on Guilford Street in Manchester, the last known location of 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery.
Kind of scary. I mean, we always thought something was weird a few years ago when the house was running on a generator in the middle of the summer, but we've never seen anything.
Meanwhile,
we're heartbroken. We're heartbroken.
Family members continue to ask for the public's help in finding the little girl, last seen in 2019.
We're hopeful. It's been a long time since anyone has seen her. So emotions are all over the place.
Kevin Montgomery is Harmony's great uncle. He says his relationship with her side of the family is strained, but says his family tried to help her.
A lot of criticism out there from the general public, and they know nothing. She was loved. She was loved. Just some of the people that loved her the most, we had no rights when it came to parents. We had no rights.
Kevin Montgomery is asking for anyone who saw anything to call authorities, even if they want to remain anonymous.
Somebody seen this little girl last somewhere. Somebody knows something.
And Manchester police tell News 9 they'll be back at that property tomorrow. The current homeowners are not connected to the case in any way. Live.
Okay, so during that, I was trying to pull up this photo I had because, yes, some people were commenting. Someone commented that the stepmom has now been, obviously Adam Montgomery was initially arrested back, I think that happened the day we streamed last, which was January 5th, 4 or 5 days ago. Since then, in addition to Adam, Kayla Montgomery, so Harmony's stepmom, has also been arrested. It's a really bad image, but that's who that is there. I don't need to have this Don Wells family official up. There we go. That was from my last stream. And yeah, and in addition to that, the community and just people in general, businesses have rallied together to increase the reward for the information to lead to her discovery to over, I think, $100,000 or right around $100,000 now, which is, it just completely skyrocketed. But yeah, someone also mentioned, let me read. So Miss Wee Lassie said, didn't the school, or don't understand how Harmony's school didn't follow up with her on no-shows at school. So that's an interesting point that we also kind of made in our last stream, which was that this all took place right before COVID hit, right? So if she was last seen in October of 2019, just a few short months after that was the new year where COVID was we were starting to hear about it. And then of course, March of 2020, the whole world, or at least the majority of the world, kind of shut down for a while. So I would imagine if there was any sort of school system that she was a part of, maybe they went to an offline or, remote learning situation. And I feel like a lot of situations probably fell through the cracks, not only with Harmony, but other kids that maybe should have been followed up on in other ways that weren't, just because the system at that time was so shaken up with COVID. So anyways, the uncle has mentioned in that interview, he said there's so much kind of criticism coming in from people who don't necessarily know the story. And that's kind of what I was talking about with how I feel about the whole case. Part of me is like, if I'm an uncle and I've heard that I haven't seen my niece or nephew or heard from them or even seen a current photo in 2 years, even if I wasn't a huge part of their life, I'd probably do a little bit more to like go make sure that they're okay. So anyways, also Judy says, Aaron, COVID has nothing to do with it. Absolutely. I'm not trying to blame or give an out in any way for these parents or for the administration or anyone not following up with this child. I'm just saying that there are definitely factors that maybe have made this more difficult overall. But I agree with you. I don't think overall COVID is should be the thing we blame here. G Mama says stepmom is guilty AF. Interesting. Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. If you guys are following this closely, definitely let me know. Also, hit that like button. We have over almost 300 people in here. Let's get to 200 likes real quick, and then more people will see the stream. S the Best says, I agree, Aaron, the pandemic has taken its toll. It's definitely taken its toll in certain ways. So I'm just wanting to mention that. So this is also the mom. So this is another thing. The mom of Harmony Montgomery, Crystal Sorey. We went through in my last stream her TikTok page and a few different posts that she had. This is another person that sticks out to me. And I know, once again, if she didn't have full custody, we talked about, both parents dealing with drug abuse at one point or another during Harmony's, like when Harmony was still alive. We also have reports of Adam physically and mentally abusing Harmony by making her stand in the corner until she pees on herself. It's a really hard story to talk about. The uncle has seen black eyes on Harmony from Adam, and whether it's confirmed or not, Adam apparently said something about throwing her around the house. Like it's terrible. And so apparently the mom, the birth mom, Crystal, hasn't had any sort of custody for the last couple of years and hasn't seen her in the last couple of years. This is another situation where, look, I'm not a parent, but I would definitely be knocking on some doors to make sure that my daughter or son is alive. And I know that it's not as easy as that, but I'm just saying, I feel like she could do something, right? I don't know. So I don't want to throw her under the bus either. She was at the vigil. So I guess there was a vigil for Harmony, which is weird to have a vigil. I don't know. I guess I feel like vigils, whenever you hear about a vigil, isn't that always like when someone has passed? Look, I don't think this story is looking very promising for Harmony, and we'll get to that in a moment. But this is the mom, Crystal. So here's what she said at the vigil.
He has the latest from Manchester, where a vigil was held tonight in Harmony's honor.
In her honor. Okay.
Mother knows if her baby's here or not. So I know she's here.
Crystal Sorey feels her daughter is still alive.
If she's listening to you right now, what do you want to say?
Hi, baby. If you can see me or you can hear me, I want you to know that I never stop looking for you, and I won't stop fighting until I find you, okay? And you stay strong, and Mommy's right here fighting for you. I love you.
Crystal made her first public appearance and her first public comment since her daughter's mysterious disappearance made widespread headlines over the last week. She lit candles and said prayers with family and friends at a park in Manchester Saturday.
We just want her to know how much she's loved, and that we just want her to come home.
Crystal lost custody of her daughter, Harmony Montgomery, in 2018 as Crystal struggled with substance abuse issues. The last time she saw Harmony was over FaceTime around Easter 2019. After that, Crystal says Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, who had legal custody, blocked all contact.
I've been begging for any type of answer since 2019. It's disgusting. Since Easter, when I had an Easter basket for her for over a year, I held on to that.
Crystal, who lives in Massachusetts, says she called New Hampshire schools, drove by homes associated with Adam, and made multiple calls to the Division of Children, Youth, and Families.
Do you feel let down by DCYF?
Oh, yeah, they've let so many people down. My daughter was failed by everybody.
New Hampshire's Department of Health and Human Services has declined to comment on the case, citing confidentiality issues. Adam was arrested this past week and is facing several charges, including for failing to have Harmony in his custody. But he hasn't been linked to her disappearance. The last time Harmony can be accounted for, according to investigators, is late 2019.
To be honest, I feel like he sold her.
Crystal is asking for help from the public.
Anything about my baby, please. I'm begging you to come forward.
Oh my God. Okay. So I didn't realize she stated at the end that she feels like he sold her. My gosh. This story, it's tough. But I saw Chris Davis mention in the comments there while we were watching that the mom and dad are in different states. Yes, they're technically in different states. I think the mom was last reported to live in Haverhill, Massachusetts, which is just on the south, just to the south of New Hampshire, southeast New Hampshire, only like a 40-minute drive from Manchester, New Hampshire. So yeah, they were in different states, but like, let's be honest, you could walk from Haverhill to Manchester. It's saying you could walk there in 8 hours and 59 minutes. If you can see that over here. So a mother, I'm sure, would walk 8 hours and 59 minutes from one city to another if she had to. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could literally hike there. It's 27 miles. And you could be there in a day if you were able to walk, that far in a day. You could split it into a couple days. But what I'm getting at is, yes, they were living in different states. However, she was relatively close. So Pamela says, oh my gosh, I'm wondering why she thinks that. Like, it is a very weird thing for her to say, like, I think he sold her. Like, I know that these kinds of things happen, but for that to be the first thing that goes into your head. Oh, it's Haverhill? Oh, Haverhill. Sorry. Thanks, Casey. It's pronounced Haverhill. Haverhill. Oh, wow. Yeah, I butchered that. Oh well. But yeah, it's interesting that she that's the first thing that her mind went to. Also, hey to my sister and her husband. They're watching this right now. They're trying to get me on these texts here, and I just had to say hey to them. Anyways, but that was that. Here's the uncle as well in a News Nation clip. Now, we know that Brian Enton is out there in Manchester right now. Like I said, the uncle apparently lives here in Florida. So he is much more separated from, Harmony's life in terms of distance. However, this is the uncle I think that had reported to, seeing black eyes, and just reporting some of the abuse. Once again, I'm not saying he's responsible for anything in particular, but it's really crappy that no one stepped up further than just saying something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you hear that there's this level of abuse, if there's multiple, 2 years in between seeing someone, like, come on, like, someone's got to step up, right? Anyways, what is everyone saying here? Everyone, yeah, something doesn't seem right. Allie says, Judy Mariah says, it really is that easy. 2 parents have to communicate as to how the child is doing. If a day, 2 days a week has passed and there's no update on child, CPS has to be called in. Yeah, like, where's CPS in all this? Joyce says, oh my gosh, I would have been in that town every day. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. But let's listen in on, like I said, the News Nation clip from the uncle from just a few days ago. I think they were able to connect with him here in Florida for him to give this interview. Thanks, everyone, for hitting that like button, by the way. Let's get 200 likes going. We just hit 400 viewers. We're breezing through this, so here we go. Also, the News Nation with Brian Enton interviews are coming out tonight, so if you guys want more updates on that, be looking out for that as well.
Now, Kevin, thank you so much for being with me tonight. First, right out of the gate, have you had any updates at all from police or family members on Harmony's whereabouts?
None.
Nothing at all? No one sharing
No.
any information with you?
Nope.
Okay, pause. This man's getting rained on. Do you see this?
So
No.
tell me, what made you initially call the police on your nephew, on Adam? What was it that got you so worried?
They couldn't put a tent over him?
So I won't get into details, but there was just things that raised an alarm with me. And I called the authorities. And I'll just be clear, I love the police. They're doing everything they can. First and foremost, DSS, or Family and Children's Services, failed my niece here. And that's why we're here today. If they listened in the first place, this wouldn't be happening. And my niece is out there. She has family that love her, aunts and uncles and grandmothers and great-grandmothers and grandfathers. And yeah, we just want her home. And I don't like the public. If you can't help the situation, please don't distract from what the people that are trying to help are doing.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets to say I don't like the public. I'm just going to be honest. Also, I saw someone was mentioning that this isn't a very productive interview. What did they say? Something about this not being a very productive interview, kind of a waste of time. It doesn't really get anywhere. I'm going to be kind of honest. I don't like this guy. I don't like this whole situation. He's immediately pointing fingers. He's like, I love the police, by the way. Love the police. Child Protective Services, though, you guys screwed up. Like, apparently the mom called CPS, called the police. Like, multiple people failed this little girl, clearly. But in my opinion, her family failed her as well. It's just, you can't avoid that. Like I said, you can't just get on the news 2 years after this girl goes missing and point fingers. And look, I get it. He lives in a different state. He's way further than just, being in Massachusetts. He's way down here in Florida. But like I said, I'm a new uncle. I would run. I would run. And I have a car, but I would run. I'm just saying. I would go to very far lengths to make sure family is okay. And then again, not every family is like that. You're not going to always have family members that would do anything for you. So that's just the case with this little girl. She clearly didn't. Her family failed her. Yes, CPS, whoever potentially neglected some of these red flags or these call-ins from family, they definitely failed her if that was the case. But yeah, anyways, sorry. I'm just a little bit suspicious of this entire family. Logical says, Aaron, afternoon on a weekday? What? What the what? Yeah, it's only 4 o'clock on a weekday. I'm working on some other stuff right now. I figured I'd hop in and do a quick like hour-long stream because I knew I wasn't going to be streaming for a couple days probably. So yeah, we're just doing a quick one here. Lynn says he's worried about how the public has been partially blaming them. No, for sure. He's immediately defensive because in another interview, he said something about he was very defensive in that interview as well, immediately saying, you know, well, we saw the one earlier in the beginning of the stream. But yeah, Mayor says every adult in her life failed. Yeah, pretty crazy. Also, Brenda Klaus says no one cared, not even a neighbor. Unreal. Yeah, it's once again hard to. It's like who knows their exact situation, whether or not a neighbor realized she was even missing. It's just like hard to say, right? It just depends on what city you live in. Like I wouldn't know if my neighbor was just not next to me because I don't see many people. I don't know. You see so many different people. It's just hard to say who failed her the most, but definitely people failed her. And that brings us to these last couple of days. So this is the footage. This looks like helicopter footage, not drone footage. This is probably helicopter footage. It's pretty easy to tell the two apart. Hey, Angela, how's it going? The tent has been set up in the back of Harmony's, or not Harmony's house, but the last house that Harmony was said to have lived in. And it's hard to tell in this image. You can't quite see here. Now, there's a good image there. You've got, of course, a couple of tents set up here. You can see the snow on the ground. And this is where it's interesting. Recently, they've put out these long coiled cords or wires. They're heated in an effort to keep the ground thawed out, which is pretty morbid to think because, you know, they're probably digging around this backyard. They're not just hanging out back there. But one thing that someone was telling me this morning, they emailed me, they said, the tents have gone up. This is not a good sign. And so that's what made me initially think, okay, I'm just going to make this live stream and just talk about this. Like, I think that this case is about to kind of, something's about to happen. You've got the dad arrested, the stepmom arrested. He had a waiver on his arraignment. I'm sure there's a reason why they believe they should be searching in this backyard for as long as they have, which is morbid. So I don't know what is going to happen here, but the tents have gone up, and in most cases, that is in an effort to not show people like this that are filming with helicopters and drones what they're looking at. So there's a reason why tents go up, right? Obviously, they protect evidence from the elements. So if it's raining, it's clearly not raining in this video. But yeah, when the tents go up, I think things get a little more serious. So I wanted to quickly show you guys this location. We keep smiling. They are looking for a body. I mean, I would assume so. They may know more than what we know as the general public. Now, we have to think about that as well. I'm not saying that there's already been a confession by Adam Montgomery. However, you never know what they know, right? So they may know like that this little girl's no longer with us and they've got to start searching, and the first place to search is this backyard or is this property where she was last seen. Or they know even more. Who knows? But yeah, so that tent is up, like I said. This location, I think I showed this at the beginning of the stream. This is in Manchester, just to the west of the river there that runs through the city. What is it? The Merrimack? What is it? Yeah, the Merrimack River. And this is the Blue Roof house that they're searching. Why did it freeze? Oh, wonderful. It froze. Oh, there we go. And if we look at this, so Nerdy Addict is a YouTuber, Twitter, or it's a Twitter page, but also has this TikTok page that has been posting a lot of valuable like clips and information with this case. They posted showing that the yard has been being thawed out. This was from 19 hours ago. Oh wait, it's just gonna be it's just gonna be a song. But what did that say? Officials in Manchester used heating tube plastic and tarp today. So this is them thawing out the ground. So it had snow on it. It was very cold, much like all the other yards. And here now they're removing all the plastic. You can see the lined tubing. And then, they said that digging will begin tomorrow. So that is now today. There is... So yeah, that's a really good shot of it there, just to show like how they're able to completely thaw it out. There is kind of some updates since going live, or right before I went live. Cheryl, didn't they arrest the dad's girlfriend? Yes, they did. They did. When did it get reported? Says Allie. It got reported December 31st of 2021, I think, is when this whole thing kind of blew open, Allie. And so it's been really the last like almost 2 weeks now, close to 2 weeks of just everything happening one after another. Help is on the way. Could be preemptive in the case they find something. It's so cold in Merrimack, New Hampshire. I was there for work before and couldn't stand outside for more than 5 minutes. Wow. Yeah, and I assume that there's probably a tent for them and their equipment so they can stay somewhat warm as well. But when the tents go up, yeah, not a good thing. So here's Brian Enton with Harmony's mother, Crystal. He just tweeted this a few hours ago, this morning. Harmony Montgomery's mother, Crystal, tells me that Harmony's father, Adam, is violent and strangled her countless times while she was pregnant. Yikes. Just finished a long conversation with her. It will air tonight on News Nation. So this is the interview that I was saying, or some of the interviews that Brian Enton is getting. They're going to air tonight on News Nation. Also, Austria is in the house. Wow. Oh, that's Corinna. Austria in the house. Nice. But yeah, just like Christy just said, they just finished up searching. So this is another clip from Brian Enton through the backyard of the street over. They had blocked the street, so no reporters or anybody could kind of get close to the property. He did a little paparazzi action through the two houses to the east to then see into the backyard. But just like Christy said, this is him saying that the tents are up. Just before I went live, 25 to 30 minutes before I went live, 3:02, Brian said, it appears the search is winding down at the house at 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery, where Harmony Montgomery was last seen in Manchester. So he says, I'm watching as police and FBI teams appear to be packing up. So I don't know if this is a situation where they're breaking for lunch, a late lunch, and they're just stopping for the day. Or if it's the case, like someone said, help is on the way, said something about not being able to stand outside for more than 5 minutes. Maybe they're just taking a general break overall. Because it's so cold. Like, what is the temperature in Manchester? Let me just ask Alexa. Alexa, what is the temperature in Manchester, New Hampshire?
Right now, in Manchester, New Hampshire, it's 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 3 degrees.
24 degrees Fahrenheit, low of 3 degrees tonight. So that's pretty cold. I mean, people can work through those conditions. I mean, it's not like they're going to be in their flip-flops. They've got jackets and coats and things. But so I imagine they're either breaking for like a lunch of some sort, or maybe that's it. Maybe they're done looking in that area. This is also an update from at Oscar Journalist on Twitter. Update: Manchester police and FBI have packed up and cleared the scene where they believe 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery last lived before she went missing in 2019. So it seems like they are packing things up. This is kind of a shot from outside the house. It looks like reporters are able to go on the main road again, because this looks like it looks like the main road, unless this is from the back where Brian was shooting through. Alicia Jacob, absolutely sad. This poor baby didn't deserve this. Alicia, or Alicia, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, it is incredibly sad. I was chatting with Alicia, who is the moderator to this channel, prior to the stream, and we were just going back and forth about how sad this is, this whole story, and how it just feels like there's so many of these cases right now. With the Summer Wells case, you've got, countless cases. I'm trying to think of the boy in Idaho that was like a 5 or 7 year old. I've been doing this YouTube channel for not very long, and I've covered way too many young children being missing, and it's tremendously sad. So I completely agree with you, and thank you so much, Alicia, for the $10 super chat. Casey says, check the temperature for tomorrow. Okay. Alexa, what is the temperature in... Well, no. I'm not going to look.
Right now,
No.
it's 77
Alexa,
degrees
stop.
Fahrenheit.
We'll check the Manchester. We're going to look at the weather for the next 5 days in Manchester. I totally butchered that with her. New Hampshire. Libby, off topic, have you followed the Chandler Halderson case? There's a lot of potential mapping that could be done. The trial is ongoing. I started watching a live stream with that before I went live. I think I was about halfway through with his brother chatting. I think that's the one. I'm not familiar with it, so I'm becoming more familiar, Libby. So I might have to look into that further and look into some maps. All right, Manchester. So let's look at the weather. Mostly cloudy. Let's look at the weather for the next few days here. It looks like tomorrow is 11 degrees. So tomorrow's going to be even colder. Unfortunately, it looks like the sun will be out. So that can, of course, provide like some false warmth, or the feeling of it being warmer. But yeah, it looks like 11 degrees with a low of 2 degrees. Yeah, and then pretty cold throughout the rest of the week. It gets a little bit colder throughout the end of the week. Jennifer, I am so sorry. I am so sorry I'm doing that. LOL, and everyone's Alexas go off. Yeah, sorry. I need to say it quietly. Enough with her. S the best. That's what I meant about the pandemic taking its toll. A lot of parents seem to be overwhelmed by their kids being at home. Oh, interesting. So that's what you mean. Okay. Also, you were mentioning about wind chill. Okay, KC. Yeah, let's look at the actual wind. Yeah, it's gonna be tomorrow's gonna be the windiest day of the week as well, KC. So yeah, I imagine with the wind chill and all that, it's gonna feel even colder. I would imagine, like tomorrow. Does it say feels like? It doesn't say on here. I'm sure I could find an app that shows that more. But yeah, it's gonna be cold. Peggy Rose says Harmony's bio mother and bio mom family has been looking and making reports, but no one believed them. Yeah, I definitely know that they were reporting her as missing, and there were efforts to try to like figure this out. But it's just the timing seems weird that they're just all of a sudden like making it. Like it's just all of a sudden making news, right? Like you would think this story would be just as big if they said, we haven't heard from this girl in a year, right? Like what happened? Like, why didn't this happen last year around New Year's? You know what I mean? Like this is even crazier to think that it's been 2 years since this little girl has been seen. So it's like, what happened this year that the mom really took to law enforcement and the media and whoever else to get this story out there? It's just odd. So I know what you mean, Peggy, about the mom doing something at the very least. But yeah. Oh, also, yeah. There's nothing to really go over here, but this is. I was looking into the significance of tents in crime scenes, and they say by using a tent, it limits the views of people that aren't supposed to be at the scene. It also helps preserve any evidence in difficult weather situations. So I think, there's some significance to this tent situation. And, we've got helicopters going over the crime scene. In addition to that, you've got someone like Nerdy Addict who's providing really good footage, but, they've got to be able to, protect the integrity of the search by covering things up as well. So, you know, you've got drones flying over, helicopters flying over. Likely they're trying to keep some stuff out of the public eye. S says maybe she sobered up. Yeah, well, reportedly she did sober up. And that's one thing that I covered in my last live stream, was that the mom on her TikTok, her bio in her TikTok says something about being 4 years sober, which good for her. If that's the case, good for her. She probably was fighting for custody or some level of custody with Harmony after gaining some level of sobriety. So if that's the case, fantastic. But it's just like, what? I don't know. If she's been 4 years sober, it's not like she just got sober, if that is indeed true. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, really, guys, we're only 40 minutes into the stream. I'm curious. Should I open up the phone lines for 15 or 20 minutes? Is there anyone out there that would want to call in and give kind of their opinion on this story? I'm going to stream for about an hour. If not, maybe I'll just sit here and chit chat with you guys and we can go back and forth about what you guys think about the case. But that's kind of the update. I mean, if we go to Twitter real quick and we just go to the latest for Harmony Montgomery, 19 seconds ago, police bring a ground heater evidence team to last known home. Yeah, this is what we know already. This is from 19 seconds ago. Nancy Grace. Biological mother says Harmony vanished right after Jameson was adopted. Money is the motive. Jameson is the biological mother's new son, by the way. Dan says, thanks for your streams. Aaron started watching your channel since your coverage of the Gabby Petito case. Great work. Watching from New Zealand. Wow. Thank you so much. S says, I'm cooking. Ain't got time for calling, but I'll be listening. Very cool. Carm says that would be fun. Okay. Let's, here, 1 second. Let me actually open up WhatsApp on the web here. Alicia, if you still have the number. If not, I can give it to you. But we're going to open up the phone lines. Why not? So how this works, you guys, is I'm going to open up the phone lines. It is a Google Voice number, so I don't ever see your phone number. No one will see your number. It just calls in, and I'm able to chat with you. It's just you're not even calling my personal number. It's just like a Google Voice thing. So if you want to call in and just let me know your thoughts on the case, feel free. Allie says, I can't defend Harmony. If she couldn't know her child was safe, especially with those people she was with, I would go crazy. I'd be breaking down doors. That's kind of how I feel, Allie. Oh, you've got the number. Oh, thank you. Okay, so Alicia's going to be posting the number. The number is posted, and I am about to pin it. So it is the pinned message. The number is 305-985-2690. Feel free to call in and just let me know your thoughts overall on the case. I'm going to try to keep the calls to around 3 minutes. And then if you don't get in line, you just kind of try to call right after I get off with the last person. There's no real queue or line. So feel free to call in. The line is open now. I've also posted it right there in the chat, but Alicia posted it, and that is now pinned as well. But until then, let's just keep going through. Sally says there's a good interview with the adoptive father of the little brother. He's been in contact with the mother since the adoption and tried to get her. Oh, Sally, I'll have to look into that. Okay, we're going to get our first call, but I'll look into that, Sally.
Call from
Kelly.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So I just wanted to call with just a couple of things to think about. With Harmony, I don't think the father ever registered her for school, so that would eliminate that support. I'm not sure if she had a doctor in New Hampshire versus Massachusetts when she was with her mother, so that could limit that support as well. So there are a lot of places that wouldn't know that she existed.
Yeah.
Especially if they were new to that neighborhood too. The other thing I want to say too, and I've worked with kids, so it's a tough situation because you see a lot of stuff. But, you know, the mom becoming clean, I don't think people recognize like how physiological drug addiction is, and people don't choose to be on drugs because they're in a good place.
Right.
You know, it's not an excuse, but it's a reason.
Mm-hmm,
And her mom coming clean, when people come off of drugs, their brain, the high that they get, where you could put somebody on a roller coaster and, you know, without being on drugs, you get that excitement, right?
Yeah.
When you take them off of the roller coaster, put them back onto, and put them on drugs, they go back on that roller coaster after stopping the drugs, and they don't get the same high.
Right,
they don't get the same excitement that you and I do if we go on a roller coaster, you know?
Right.
So it's like that chasing the high thing. So that's why people often will overdose when they go back on, because they don't realize how little they need to get that from the drugs. But
oh yeah, because the
it's
tolerance levels and things too. Yeah.
Yeah, it messes with your neurotransmitters so tremendously that I don't think people recognize how hard it is for people to become clean. And when people are addicts, they don't have the capacity to care about other people and their safety and their well-being.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not defending her as like it's an excuse, but it is a reason. So that's where she was. So the fact that she is clean is tremendous, honestly.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I can really knock her for not. She knew enough to say I can't take care of this child. I think they shouldn't have put her with a man who's been in prison for violence.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to. So, but I don't know that they had like the community connections to be able to recognize that Harmony was missing when she was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that makes sense. I doubt he, signed her up for school, so that was probably not even a concern. Like we talked about COVID being a potential like factor in that, and it's like she probably wasn't even registered at a school to begin with, at least at the beginning part of 2020. So.
Yeah, but the other part of that that's concerning is when you are going to have a child go in for kindergarten, which she would be going into kindergarten, then you have to go to screening and stuff. So he didn't even do that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he must not have been planning. Like, do you know what I mean? They have to go to screening like before the school year starts. So that's concerning too. Like he never did those things that would have put her in school.
Yeah, those are good points.
Kind of makes me wonder about like how much he thought about that before. Like how long was he planning on holding on to the kid?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
if he didn't go to the screening, if the district didn't know that the child was living there, like he couldn't have gone to the preliminary stuff for schools.
Right.
So I don't know. Just wanted to say that because I don't live super far from there, and it is very cold, especially like Brian Anson being used to Florida. Like it's gonna be tough, but
he's probably shaking a little bit. But yeah.
I hope she's okay, but it's definitely not looking good.
I know. Yeah.
So,
well, I appreciate
your
call.
You do great videos, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks so much. And that was like a really valuable call too. I think that gave kind of some new perspective, because even just her normal functioning everyday life, we can't just expect her to be just like everyone else, right? Like you said, if she was a recovering addict, like just her doing that is a lot. So yeah, I think sometimes it's easy to expect so much from people because we want to relate to something like, oh, this is how I would feel in that situation. And it's like we can't always. So I appreciate that perspective and bringing that to it. Yeah,
I mean, the people who have been addicted to chemical addiction, anything, I mean, they don't get, if it alters your neurotransmitters in your brain, like they don't get the same excitement over, like, I can listen to a good song and it can move me, and it doesn't happen the same way
for sure
in the brain of somebody who's been an addict. It just doesn't. So it doesn't mean forever, but really for quite a while.
Yeah, definitely.
At least, so just it's complete rewiring of the brain, which is really scary. And I think people forget that, or they don't know about that, you know, and so they can tend to judge them. But it's really sad. It's a sad life. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for calling in. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right, yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.
That was a great call. I really appreciate that kind of explanation for someone who kind of not just knows a little bit more about it, but yeah, she gave us that kind of perspective of, you know, if the mom is truly clean right now, she's not necessarily functioning probably, you know, as someone who is just never been on drugs would function in the first place. So she made a lot of sense there. Someone was asking, what is this about? So Sean, we just kind of went through the update of what's going on today. I'm taking a couple calls before the stream ends. This really is just a quick update on the Harmony Montgomery case. I think this case is about to kind of blow open. I think we're about to learn a lot. Hopefully, there's some good news that comes out of this. It's not looking very good right now, but who knows? We've got Brian Enton from News Nation out there right now conducting some interviews. We've got searches happening at the house currently. They just conducted some searches in the backyard of the house. They put some heating tubes in to the yard in order to be able to dig and look in the area. They just actually left the house about an hour and a half ago. So they kind of wrapped up their search, at least for the time being today. So I don't know really what's going on right now. We're just kind of following along as it's happening, and we're taking calls. So if you want to call in, the number is posted up above. It is 305-985-2690. I really appreciate people's perspectives on the story. We'll maybe take one or two more calls and wrap this thing up. But until then, let's keep looking at some of the comments here. Let's see. Jennifer's. Oh, here we go. Another call.
Call from
Kathy.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Kathy, how's it going?
Hey, going well. Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I got a couple of comments. One is the little brother. You had said Jameson was the newborn brother, but Jameson is the one who was adopted by the reporter.
Oh,
Jameson.
Yes. Okay. Is that right? Okay.
And then also he was going to. They interviewed him the other night, and he was going to try to adopt Harmony. She had already been turned over. Custody had been given to the dad.
That's
who
right.
Had recently, he also, and I think I'm sure on this fact here too, but I'm almost sure he shot someone in the back of the head who was his drug dealer or something to do with drugs, and had served like 7 years or some craziness, and had gotten out of jail.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah, and I just pulled up my last stream. I got those two names mixed up because the Millers, the Millers adopted Jameson, and then shortly after he was so sad that Harmony wasn't with him. He was crying at night, all these things. And that's when they decided to potentially look at adopting Harmony. So I got those mixed up. I guess there's another. Her biological mom had another child though in the last year or two, right? That
you're right. That's the one she's been on. She was on.
What was his name?
Instagram. I can't remember. It seemed like it might have started with a J as well.
Yeah, I think it could have been. Anyways, okay.
But I'm 68, so I can't remember things. You're a young blood. You need to be able to remember.
Yeah, I need to. Here it is. Oh, yeah, she was talking about, Josiah. You're right. It does start with a J. Josiah.
Yeah, Josiah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
anyway, and I think the uncle who you said was the uncle is actually Harmony's great uncle, and his brother had also been on there too. Adam's brother had been on there, and briefly. And anyway, there's so many
great
family
uncle.
members. Yeah.
So the one named Kevin, that would be Adam's brother, the one in Florida.
No, that's Adam's
No?
uncle.
That's oh yeah,
Right.
sorry, Adam's uncle. So then
The one
Harmony's
that
great
Ashley
uncle. Yeah.
the one that Ashley interviewed, and the rain was all in his face and
Yeah.
all that crap. Yeah, that was
Great.
Kevin, the uncle
Okay.
of Adam.
So great
And
uncle
he
of
had
Harmony.
gone
Yep.
to the home, right? He had gone to the home and actually saw the little girl with the black eye.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
And then he filed a police report. So he did do something in defense of him a little bit, but
Yeah.
not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
That was in July, I think, and then also again in October.
yeah, he
went
reported
over
to
the
Black
home.
Eyes. Yeah.
Mm.
Because I
Yeah.
think he said,
But
yeah, in
anyway,
October he
yeah.
saw Black Eye as well. But yeah, interesting. Okay, well, anything else that you have with the case that
But
you'd like
the
to
October,
mention?
the October call that he called the cops was because he went over to the home of wherever Adam was living at that time, and he went to get some stuff out, and they had to have police there with him
Oh,
to go in.
okay.
So he said that he saw the little girl at that time, and this would have been October 2019, that he saw the little girl at that time, and that she didn't speak, Adam, the dad, didn't try to stop her from speaking either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
anyway.
Interesting. Okay, well, thanks so much for
Yeah.
that info, and thanks for calling in.
Okay. Well, see, I'm retired. I can watch this stuff. You're doing stuff out there.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I appreciate you calling in, and I'm glad that people were able to join even on kind of an afternoon stream. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
care about this case, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Okay,
right.
well,
Thanks
thank
so
you
much.
for taking my call.
Absolutely,
All
yeah.
right.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Wonderful. Okay, and I appreciate her clarifying a few things with me with the case. Like I said at the beginning, I've only covered this one other time on the 5th. I mean, this really just kind of started up, but I got kind of the names mixed up. Josiah, Jameson, Harmony. Jameson being Harmony's younger brother that was also adopted. Yeah, Josiah. Josiah is the new son, or the newest baby that the biological mom, Crystal Sorry, has had. So thank you for the clarification there. Thanks for the call. We'll do one more call. So the next call that comes in, that'll be it. So the number is pinned once again. If you would like to, call in. Also, Bronze Barbie, you say you know nothing about this case. If you'd like to, this hasn't been a very informative case. Check out my video that I did from the 5th. I linked it down below. It's kind of a long live stream where we just dive into the case and look over the timeline. That we have a lot more detail about the case. Of course, I've also linked Mel's video that is coming out later tonight. He's another YouTuber. He's doing kind of a more refined everything you need to know about the case video. I'm sure that will be a good video as well. So those are a couple links down there, as well as a Fox article from Orlando that is a timeline. So if you just want to read through the timeline and get familiarized with the case, I've also linked that down below. So there's some resources in the chat or in the description down below. This kind of live stream has just kind of been to talk about some of the new developments today with the police and evidence teams. The FBI as well is involved in this, being at the actual house in Manchester. This isn't the house here, but the house on Guildford Street in Manchester. They're searching the backyard of this blue roof house, which is where Harmony was last seen. So anyways, like I said, the number is posted. If anyone wants to call, we'll take one more call. I'm just going to be in the chat until then. And definitely hit that like button. The stream is slowly coming to an end. Excuse me. I didn't get a water before this. We have 673 people in here. I appreciate you all being in here. Hit that like button, even if you are about to exit the stream. It helps push the stream to new people. This stream will also be an upload after the fact, like most of my streams, that you can go and watch later on. So not that we went over anything too crazy in today's stream, but you can always go back and check out the stream after I go live. The father should have never had custody, says Corinne. I agree. He has a history of past violence, not just past violence, but very violent like he shot somebody, past drug use. He really should not have ever gotten custody. I don't know what the deal was with how he got custody, but Holly Churchman says, Aaron, do you know if the bio mom has other children in her care now? I believe so, Holly. I believe that Josiah is her son that she currently has now. I don't know who that son is with, who, she had that son with, but in the last couple of years since her seeing Harmony, I believe she's had one more baby. Jay Barrett says, hit the like button, everyone. Thank you, Jay Barrett. Appreciate it. Why did they give the father custody? Yep, exactly. Michelle's Peace in Life says, another good call. I agree. Wonderful calls today. I don't know anything about this case. Allie, I think many people can relate, sadly. What did Allie say? Allie says, the mother failed her daughter. Unless you can speak from experience, it's only your opinion. You can't say this is how it is. A lot of people are very, in the camp that the mother failed her daughter. I think the one call that I got earlier about past drug use and recovering from drugs, it did shed a little bit of light on the mother maybe not being in the same kind of headspace that a normal kind of sober living person would be. So it's hard for me to point all of everything all onto one person. I think this case is very messy and a lot of people failed Harmony. Let's see. Melissa says, sorry, who is Mel? That's my nickname. Mel is his name's Mel on YouTube, Ikid Mel. He covers a lot of kind of missing persons cases. He has a video coming out later tonight about the Harmony Montgomery case. So it's just a guy that I follow. I respect his work. He's a nice guy. The bio dad has been in and out of jail since he's been 16. Ooh, interesting. Let's see. The sad thing that haunts me is that all the suffering this baby girl endured, Adam knows where he left this child. Adam knows at the very least something, right? Something. He would have been the last person to see her if he was the last person that was supposed to have full custody of her. So yes, I completely agree with you, Amelia. He should definitely know. He should know something. All right. It doesn't seem like anyone's calling in, so maybe that was it for the calls. Like I said, the lines are still open. It is pinned. Feel free. I'm gonna read a few more comments as they're coming in here. I got timed out last night on another channel. I'm a member of just for mentioning another channel name. Canceled my membership and upgraded on the channel I was timed out for naming. Jay Barrett, Aaron and Mel are great. The best YouTube channels by far. I follow both, and he often gives Aaron a shout out too. Great to see. Yeah, that's awesome. Mel's a good guy. He just hit his 100,000. Well, he hit 100,000 subscribers a while ago. He just got his YouTube plaque in the mail, which was really cool to watch. It made me want one. I know I'm only at 16,000 subscribers, but I was like, ooh, that would be fun to get a plaque in the mail, which if you guys want to help with that, we're at 16,439 of the 644 people in here. If you're enjoying this content, if you like this kind of coverage where we kind of dive in a little bit deeper and look at things from different angles, I know we didn't really do that too much in this particular live stream, but if you like this video, definitely hit the subscribe button. Let's help get the channel out there to more people. And I would really, really appreciate it. So yeah, we just hit 16,000 a couple days ago. We're already almost halfway to 17,000. So all of the support in getting us there is greatly appreciated. Also, Melissa B coming in with the $4 super sticker. Thank you so much, Melissa. Really appreciate that. We will get you there, Aaron. 100K, here we come. Thank you. We're very far from 100K. I don't think, look, there's a couple more coming in. I don't think it's going to happen fast. But it would be cool. It would be cool. And things like, and I've mentioned this in previous live streams, things like super chats and super stickers like Melissa just gave are helping greatly with a production that I'm making. I'm self-producing a documentary this year, and all of that is going towards funding that documentary. So thank you so much for the super chats, super stickers, all of that. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. All of that good stuff. Yeah, once again, I should also mention very quickly that down in the description of this video, there's also a link to a Google form that if you have any interesting ideas for future videos for me to cover, either in a live stream or just a regular video, hit that, click on that form, submit it, and that's a good way of contacting me. And so, yeah, feel free to do that. I'm going to wrap up the stream now. It looks like no one else is calling in, so I just closed out the Google Voice tab. And thank you guys all. Hopefully we have some answers very, very soon in the Harmony Montgomery case. I think, like I said, this case is a little bit messy. I don't know how much I'll be covering it. Obviously, if there's new information, I mean, if something happens late tonight, I'll hop on here and quickly cover it. But it's a tough one. I know there's a lot to it. There's a lot more that we didn't touch on today, but hopefully we have some more answers soon. And thank you all for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys.